Planet Earth. Positioned 150 million kilometers away from the Sun, life here exists as the product of a complex, delicate, and very fortunate set of conditions. Within this perfect balance, a rich and diverse set of life forms appeared, each on a mission to survive in the environments in which they found themselves. Despite their short time on this planet, human beings have emerged as the dominant species. Shaping the landscape to meet their needs, they developed an insatiable appetite for progression. Amidst all the chaos of life on Earth, one thing has kept these humans moving forward and creating better worlds for those who come after them: the pursuit of knowledge. For millennia, special groups of people have passed this knowledge on to the next generation, allowing them to thrive and build things nobody thought were possible. On this planet, they call these people teachers. Their mission is to educate the population of the planet, helping them impact the world around them as best as they can. As new ideas blossomed and the people of Earth entered the modern age, the pursuit of knowledge accelerated to new heights. Paper became screens, pencils became keyboards, and a vast network of information opened up before them. Connected together in ways that were previously impossible, new ideas and technology were exchanged at a rate never seen before. The teachers became more than knowledge givers. They became mentors and guides, helping inspire and shape the generations of tomorrow. As all this was happening, a group of people created the Wakelet space program. They built a spacecraft that would allow these teachers to take a rare glimpse into the future, discovering the things that would shape education for years to come. Now, in the year 2024, for the first time in history, an interstellar flight will take place, ushering in a new age of teaching and learning. The most passionate educators from the four corners of the world will unite, embarking upon a journey that will test the very boundaries of what's possible. Out there, in the vast expanse of time and space, there lies knowledge that is waiting to be discovered. Signals from the teachers of tomorrow, information that will transform the world of education for years to come. The clock is ticking. The stage is set. The voyage of the century is nearly upon us.
This is Mrs. Howell with the Tiger Library, and
we are ready for Wakelet Live!
I'm Shivanand Mishra. Read class 6. We are ready for...
Hi, this is Khaira Zahot from Algeria. We are in Wakelet
Live!
Hi, I'm Miss Tusmer.
And I'm Mrs. Gramillion.
And we're ready for
Wakelet Live!
I'm Betsy Stone. I'm here with my Media Center Ambassador team.
And we're ready for Wakelet Live!
Stevie Frank, and I cannot wait until Wakelet Live.
Hi, I'm Becky Keane, and I'm ready for Wakelet Live. Hi, I'm Chrissy Starr, and I'm ready for Wakelet Live.
Hi, this is Isabel from Ecuador.
I'm Jemai from Tlaxcala, Mexico.
Hi, this is Victory. I'm from Riobamba, Ecuador.
Hi, this is Beth from Ecuador.
Hello, this is Janet Gonzalez and I'm from Mexico.
Hello, I'm Hussein Oslat. This is, of course, Wakelet Live!
Hi, I'm Amanda from South Ayrshire, Scotland, and I am ready for Wakelet Live.
Hi, this is Tristan Japlagman. I am ready for Wake Up Live.
Namaskar, we are from Welcome School for Children, Ahmedabad, Gujarat, India.
We are Wakelet Showcase School and you are watching Wakelet Live.
Hi, I'm Nirmala Devi Kandasamy. This is my class, year 6 Diamond, and
from Italy. This is the first day, and we are ready for Wakelet Live!
Hi, it's Rajam Sarawi from Shady School. We are ready for
Wakelet Live!
Hi, I'm Mrs. Vasily from Anastasia School in Long Branch, New Jersey, with my 5th grade, and we are ready for Wakelet
Hello travellers and welcome to Wakelet Live. The entire Wakelet team is so thankful that you could join us once again as we take a journey through the Wakelet universe and share the news and updates that you have all been waiting for. As we embark on our 5th Community Week, we wanted to extend our gratitude to you, the educator community. I know that we speak on behalf of every EdTech platform when we say that the energy, the passion and the support that you show us every day is the single most important element in all of this. Wakelet Community Week is many things to many people. It's a chance to up your professional development, hear from the biggest names in education, and of course, network with the people who matter. For us here at Wakelet though, we see it as something a little bigger than that. It's where for 1 week out of the year, educators from across the world unite through their shared experiences, where you come together and learn from each other, where you create bonds and connections with people on the other side of the globe. We've got an amazing week lined up for you all, and we cannot wait for you to take flight with us and experience all of the magic headed your way. Now, the Wakelet team has been really busy this year. We have some game-changing updates and news to share with you, and honestly, the next 12 months are going to be really special. For now, get your boarding passes ready, take your seat, and strap in. It's time for Wakelet Live.
In an era where AI is becoming more integrated into our lives, the human touch in curation remains more crucial than ever before. Whether you know it or not, we've all become curators. And every day we shape our digital landscapes through simple acts of curation. Sharing an interesting piece of content in a group chat, dropping a song we love into a playlist, or adding that awesome group photo to the holiday album. These personal acts of curation not only craft our digital identities, but can also influence the world around us in powerful and meaningful ways. As the culture of the web evolves, curation as a skill is becoming even more important. And the whole concept of Wakelet was born out of the human ability to take pieces of content, contextualize them, repurpose them, and use them to share ideas and tell stories. This core concept of Wakelet has never been more relevant than it is right now. According to estimates, over 320 million terabytes of information is created on the web every day. So it's more important than ever to provide people with easy-to-use tools which they can capture, save, and make sense of all that information. At Wakelet, we want to make that journey of curation a seamless, enjoyable, and useful experience for everyone. In classrooms, schools, and districts around the world, teachers and students are curating content for lesson plans, assessments, portfolios, coursework, school trips, and so much more. And by looking at all the ways you use Wakelet inside and outside of education, we've been able to develop features and integrations that help you get where you're going quicker and easier than ever before. Let's hear from the product team about the exciting steps we're taking to make Wakelet the ultimate place to curate, present, and collaborate.
I'm Callum, I'm the head of product, and I work with all the lovely people in Wakelet and listen to user feedback and customer feedback to see how we can continue to make the platform better. At Wakelet, we believe there are 3 crucial steps to curation. The first is curation itself, a person on the web finding and saving content and adding their own context to that content. The second step is working with others to refine that content and make it more meaningful. And then the last step is sharing that content and that knowledge with the world so other people can view it and read it and benefit from it going forward. So the human in that process can handpick pieces of information that is either they think is most factual or most important to them. They can save that content and then build upon it with their own knowledge and research and then continue to build that going forward into the future. So you've got that collection and you might want some more diverse thoughts and ideas to make something more meaningful. So you might invite others, that might be your parents, your colleagues, your students, or maybe just your friends. And now that you have these ideas and perspectives, you built something much more meaningful than what you started out with. So the last part of that journey is search and explore. So once you're happy with your collection and you want other people to discover it, you can publish it into the Wakelet ecosystem. Other people can find that, other people can be inspired by that, and where one curation journey ends, another one begins. That's the ecosystem of Wakelet. You create content, you work with others to build that content into something much more meaningful, and then you share it with the world. So the first part of the creation journey that we're going to be improving is something that we like to call all items. As you know, collections are great and we've put a lot of time and effort into that, but as we mentioned earlier, everything starts with a link. So we wanted to put more time and effort into making sure that the link experience is better so that you can find and discover and re-find the content you've already added to Wakelet, because sometimes you might have added different sorts of things that can actually build a collection on their own. So rather than having to find items that you've already added and you can't really remember where it is, you can go ahead and search and find it again for later. So the all items area is essentially everything that you've added to Wakelet in all of your collections, and even the bookmarks you've added that are not necessarily in a collection yet. So you can search through all of the content you've added to Wakelet. You'll be able to filter through that by content type, you'll be able to sort by the date it was added, and you'll also be able to filter it alphabetically. So now, within seconds, you can find maybe that seedling of an idea that you started off with and pick up where you left off. One of the other reasons why we've done this is we know that everyone's different. Some people like to start at an item level, start saving items first before they build a collection, whilst others might want to start at the collection level first. So this makes the creation experience much more well-rounded, meaning that we can meet the diverse needs of the different people who use the platform so they can start where they want to start. So curation is obviously really important to us. This is just one update that we've brought to you all, and the next one's going to be a really big one. We're excited for it. It's something that we've heard a lot of feedback on, so we're looking forward to seeing what you think of it.
Organisation is a really important element of the curation experience. It's really satisfying putting things together in a way that makes sense and providing structure to a story or an idea you want to share. So we've got a few different levels of organisation on Wakelet right now. The item level, which is individual links and pieces of content. The collection level is where you can organise multiple pieces of content together. The more collaborative levels, like classrooms and workspaces. And then the profile level, which is where you share your public collections in one place. Each level fits under the other, making the organisation of your content easier to manage. We've created a really elegant way of adding that extra layer of organisation within your collections themselves. At the click of a button, you'll be able to create sections that add structure and form to your collections, making them easier to navigate and understand for yourself and the people you share them with. Sections will be available on every layout, giving you that added flexibility and providing more choice in the way you share your content on Wakelet. Even if you change the layout of your collection, the sections that you have chosen will remain the same and still make sense. For educators, this becomes a quick and easy way to add that much needed structure to your lesson plans, newsletters, resource lists, assignments, and so much more. Sections will be coming to your Wakelet accounts very soon, so stay tuned. As always, we are so thankful for this community for inspiring us to make the curation experience better for everyone.
On a daily basis, the Wakelet team is inspired by the spirit shown by the Wakelet community in how you support one another and share inspiring content with one another, and we are just here to facilitate that. We are very aware that educators do not have much time, and they're constantly planning lessons, in assessments, they're prepping, as well as all the other curveballs that are coming their way. They don't have much time, and we're sure it can be very overwhelming. So we're also very aware that educators have this sense of community and help each other out. They like preparing things for each other and supporting one another where they can. One of the great things that we see at Wakelet are teachers creating collections of content that they can share with one another. A lot of these collections are templates, so that varies from lesson plans to group activities right through to portfolios and everything in between. So this content is immediately applicable for educators, and all they have to do is go onto the collection, hit copy, and then it's theirs to edit and curate and build on however they want to. So the new feature with Wakelet templates is when an educator is curating a new collection, they can select from a range of the best Wakelet templates. They can jump straight in and they don't have to start from scratch. They're able to immediately start curating the content that they like based on a pre-existing format. You're able to add your own color, your own personality, as well as your own content. Great for your students to jump into, engage and access the content and collaborate within as well. So at Wakelet, we're always seeing educators producing brilliant content to share with their community. And I think Wakelet templates really leans into that value. We love seeing teachers producing content that other teachers are able to edit and share. So this new feature will really enhance that, and we can't wait to see what you produce. So look out for templates. It's going to be coming very, very soon, and see where your next template can lead you.
Curation is one of the most important parts of the web today. And the Wakelet team is committed to making that creation journey easy and accessible for everyone. And as you know, behind the scenes, the Wakelet team has been working incredibly hard to improve the architecture of the platform, making it better and faster for everyone. Some of these changes have meant that we've had to put the browser extension on hold while we've made some important updates to the platform. We're really happy to announce that the browser extension is back and it's better than ever. We've created a truly immersive, intuitive, and incredible experience, and it works straight out of the box. One of the biggest new enhancements is the side panel. No matter where you are on the web, you can pull up the Wakelet side panel and save any content directly into your collections. We know so many of you love the curation experience using the browser extension. It's the most natural and seamless way to organize the web. And the best part is, it's there whenever you need it. The new and enhanced browser extension is available soon, so keep an eye on socials for its release. We want to thank you for your patience while we've made these improvements, and we can't wait to hear your feedback.
We've been really busy over the last year, taking on your feedback, improving things in the background, and making some awesome enhancements to the platform. We know that life moves pretty fast, so here are a few of the features that you may have missed. Number 1, subscribe to Creator. We wanted to connect you with the creators you love and help get you closer to the content that you value. We launched a test feature this year that allowed you to subscribe to a Wakelet creator and get updates in your inbox every time they make a new collection. The test went really well, so with so many of you subscribing to your favorite creators, we'll now be looking to roll this out to even more creators in the coming months. Number 2, notifications. We know that you wanted to stay in the loop when collaborating, so this year we added notifications to your home area so that you could see every time a collaborator edited or added content to a collection. This means that you won't miss a thing when collaborating with your class or team. Number 3, enhancements to copy collection. You're copying more collections than ever on Wakelet, especially templates. We wanted to streamline the copy collection process so that it was faster and smoother than ever. So we made a few enhancements to that process this year, reducing the amount of clicks needed and helping you copy collections in half the time. Number 4, CSV upload. With our education plan, we wanted to add even more flexibility when it comes to rostering your students. So this year we released CSV Upload. This means that you can upload a CSV file with your students' details, import and create students in bulk, and create workspaces and groups in a really flexible and accessible way. And lastly, number 5, video upload. We know that when it comes to content, video is one of the most powerful media types out there. We've now made video recording and upload available on both the Wakelet Individual Pro Plan and for your students in education plans. You'll be able to click a button, upload or record video files directly into your collection. That's it for now. Stay tuned for more enhancements and updates throughout the rest of the year.
AI on Wakelet is not just about following a trend, it's about enhancing the speed, creativity and usefulness of the platform. We have a strong focus strategy at Wakelet, utilising our understanding of the content to help improve safety and usefulness of the content that you already have in the platform. By deeply understanding our content, we can enable features that allow us to help you curate content more effectively, help you find content that is relevant to you and your interests, and help you not see content that isn't relevant to you or your interests. This has really good impacts on safety and choice. This means that we can tell you what the content is about and let you choose whether you want to see it or not. This is really important for people in schools, an educational setting, or even in a business setting, where we can make sure that your kids are only seeing the content that you want them to see. Content safety means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but the work that we're doing behind the scenes right now will eventually allow you to create your own safety and choice profile, which will allow you to fully customize all aspects of the content that you see on Wakelet. As a side effect of understanding your content, we've been able to improve our search, giving you more relevant results faster. Using artificial intelligence, we can deeply understand the meaning behind your search results and use this to match you more relevant queries, even if the keywords don't appear in that content directly. For example, this means that we can return search results about the pyramids when you search for the term Egypt. We've wanted to do this feature for a long time, and it's making sure that you don't lose your content in Wakelet. We want Wakelet to be a safe place where you can store whatever you want, but then more importantly, find it again. And part of this is using artificial intelligence to make sure that we know what you're saving so that when you're looking for it again, you can find it. All of the improvements that we've done in the background to our understanding of content have enabled us to release AI-powered search on Wakelet. We've always seen a huge amount of great content on Wakelet, but it's been too difficult for us to go through and find the good stuff. Now, with the power of AI, we've made our jobs a whole lot easier and made it much easier for us to surface all of the relevant, great content that you guys are creating. It's all about connecting you with the content that you most want to see. In the current climate, the role of human curation is even more important, making sure that content is from sources that can be trusted and that it's up to date and accurate. Wakelet's role is important in this ecosystem to make sure that we give you the tools in order to do that and the tools in order to find other people's content.
The whole era of AI has started, and there's a lot of content out there on the internet which might not be true, which might be fake. So I think because of that, there's a lot of importance now on human-made content. There was never really an ecosystem or a place where you could just go and explore stuff or find things on Wakelet. And we know that there's amazing collections that has been created by a lot of people on Wakelet, but it was only being shared by them to other people. So the circle was very small. So we came up with this idea for Explore, but obviously we had to come up with a way to put good collections on Explore because there's a lot of collections that are being sent. So in the background, during when this whole Explore started happening, we were working on other projects that involved understanding our content way better, like not for the users, but as developers, going through every collection, manually telling what this collection belongs to, where this collection belongs to, what it is talking about. It's hard, it's tiring. And one of the ways that we thought was bringing artificial intelligence or AI into this. So when we're doing all this background work, we figured that there's a really good opportunity here to bring a lot of value to the users. I'm really excited to say that there is this new Explore area that is completely powered by AI. there's a lot of categories on Wakelet. This is just the start. We're going to bring in more categories later, but I think we have maths, science, history, technologies and humanities. And in each of these categories, you're going to find the best collections created by people on Wakelet. Having categories on Explore are going to help people find a lot of amazing content. But there's also another side to it, which is if you were an educator, a teacher who was creating maths collections and you wanted to share it with someone else you know who's a maths teacher, you had to send them a link personally. But the thing is, this collection could be useful for so many people around the world. It has amazing content to it. So right now you don't have to do all that. You don't have to manually send these links. All you have to do is publish this content, and we'll make sure that this is available to every person who's looking for them. Now it's available to everyone. Anyone can go to Explore and can see and find amazing and quality collections. This is just one of the ways we want to use AI to help people on our platform to make things simpler, faster and much more useful. I think this right now is just happening for content. Just imagine what happens when Explore also has a part where you can find people, not only content. I think that creates a bigger network than what content can do. AI has been going everywhere, and obviously as educators, you guys are excited to use AI, but I think we as a company, Wakelet, is taking a different path to helping educators and users using AI, and I think this is just a start, and this is just a part of how we can use AI in a good way, or in a way that is going to impact a lot of people. We are really excited about the future.
The human aspect is never going to be replaced. AI can serve so many benefits in increasing efficiency and providing different contexts that we may not think about, but that's just down to human limitations. But the one thing that AI doesn't have is that emotional aspect, that understanding of the individual personally, because that is truly what is important. You don't know how someone might be feeling one day to the next. A teacher can understand that. AI can't. So Wakelet has always been human-based from the beginning, and understanding how people curate content has always been at the forefront of providing the best and most useful experience possible, whilst empowering things that only humans can truly do. So we know that everybody wants to create content on Wakelet that is visually engaging and appealing. And we know that not everybody has that artistic skill and understand where to find the images that makes their content pop. So I'm happy to introduce our own AI image generator. With just a few prompts, you can create multiple images for you to choose from. This reduces the time it will take for you to find the images that you want, and also allow you to speed up the curation process of those images that best suit your content. Not only that, this enhances critical thinking, reflection, problem solving and creativity so that you can create unique images that best tells your story. To improve critical thinking, you have to think about what prompts are actually going to work best that tells your story. From there, when you've generated some images, you can reflect on whether it fits it to the moment you want. You then start to understand what prompts do I want to include and which prompts do I want to take out, starting to look at the problem solving. So just from this one small feature, you can see how it enhances the learning experiences for you as the teacher and your students. And we know that this is a feature that you've all been asking for that will enhance your curation process. AI is being used in many, many different ways, whether it is through creating a lesson plan, whether it's assessing work that a student's done, image generation as well. What we don't want to do is just bolt-on AI. We don't want it to just be the thing that we have it. We want it to be about what meaningful use does it gain? Does it actually enhance the teacher's experience? And I believe that Wakelet has the potential to easily enhance the classroom with AI alongside that human curated experience.
Hi everybody, my name is Melissa Kreiser and I am the Customer Success Manager for Wakelet. I am the key point of contact for any of our paying districts. I am based out of Wisconsin and my educational background is I spent 17 years as a middle school science teacher. 10 of those years I spent as a department chair and 8 of those years I spent as a tech coach. So I understand the stresses of the classrooms, what it was like pre-COVID, post-COVID, and during COVID. So my job is to be here to help each and every one of you. One of my favorite things about being the Customer Success Manager is that I get to have monthly meetings with each one of our customers. At those meetings, we get to talk about the things that are going well in the district and things that aren't going so well. I get to bring back each one of our customers' set of feedback to our engineers and our product team. Then I get to see those features actually get increased and perfected based upon how our customers say that they need to be changed. It's really exciting to be able to see that those things are actually getting sent to the correct people and that something is actually being done about that. At Wakelet, we are very much a family, and I want to make sure that each one of our customers feel like they are just as much a part of our family. I miss being in the classroom. Like I said earlier, I had spent 17 years in the classroom, so I very much live vicariously through each one of our customers, so I love hearing the stories, and I hope that my customers get to feel that I care just as much about their students as they care about their students. All right, let's take a look at how the Wakelet team have completely enhanced the way you can collaborate, work together in classrooms, as groups, teams, and at scale.
From the people who use our education plans, the feedback that we get from them is really useful. So we get feedback from teachers, district admins, and even IT support. So when we get feedback from Melissa about different ways that people want to use the platform, we sort of take that feedback and we want to make permanent solutions to those that scale and that allow other people to be able to use them. And we want to do it in a way where everyone can get benefit from it. From the feedback that we've gotten from Melissa, it's really allowed us to sort of rethink the previous sort of rigid structure that we've had around workspaces. It's sort of allowed us to be able to create more flexible, meaningful solutions that our users can use without having to go through a third party to get the fixes that they would need. With the amount of districts that have now started to join Wakelet, we've been able to see the different ways that people use the platform, which has given us the opportunity to be able to make features that actually make a huge impact to all these different districts and help improve people's experience on Wakelet when they're collaborating. What's really important to us is that the teachers on the ground have a good experience using the product and are able to use and adapt it however they need. We know that teachers are really creative and innovative, and our goal with adding new features is to be able to allow them to express themselves using Wakelet as freely as they want. It allows for way more ways to interact with each other and work as teams.
The before state with Workspaces is that you have to you have your rostering system with all of your schools, classrooms all stored there, and you have to import that directly onto the Wakelet platform. You can't manually create just what you need. You have to have it created somewhere else first. So at the moment, yeah, you have those third-party rostering tools like Clever, ClassLink, Google Classrooms, where you already have your schools and classrooms set up there, all of your students listed, and then you have to import those onto the Wakelet platform. What we're hoping to move towards is where you have much more flexibility over how you put those classrooms together. You can create an empty one from scratch and then add whichever students you want one by one or like in bulk. Whatever your workflow is really, you can do it. It's reducing that friction. You hit a button, enter their emails, and then basically that's it. You can grant them whatever role you want. It's totally flexible. So yes, all of this is about making Wakelet the ultimate place to collaborate with any team of any size. So as well as a curation and an exploration platform, one of the really important principles that's really exciting now is Wakelet as a collaboration platform. We're really grateful to our community who provided us all of this really vital feedback to get us to where we are now, and we're really excited to show you all the things we've got planned for the future.
We believe that collaboration is one of the most exciting parts of the curation journey that we're providing through Wakelet. In the last year, we've seen more people than ever using Wakelet with their teams, students and departments, all working together to achieve incredible things that make a real impact. Last year, we launched our education plans so that schools and districts could start using Wakelet at scale. And our conversations with teachers, students, administrators and heads of departments have helped us to create the awesome enhancements that I'm about to show you. Let's start with some of the most common pieces of feedback we've received. Number 1, you wanted easier and simpler ways to organise groups of people on Wakelet. Number 2, you wanted a better way to understand the usage of Wakelet in your school and district. Number 3, you wanted a clearer distinction between your personal workspace on Wakelet and the one you use for your school or district. And number 4, you wanted the ability to create flexible learning environments that weren't dependent on the existing structure of third-party rostering platforms. Number 5, you wanted quicker and easier ways to update and manage and remove members of these environments independently with minimal admin. And number 6, you loved the experience of building classrooms for your students, but you also wanted to create environments for smaller focused teams of colleagues, departments, or friends. The first thing we realised is that collaborating and working as a team can take many forms, and it's something that happens outside the classroom as well as inside. So the first change we'll be making is that we'll be now calling classrooms groups. A group can be an entire class of students, a focused study group with students and teachers, or even a place for a group of colleagues to come together and share ideas and resources. The choice and size and scale is yours to make. I'm really excited to show you some of the updates to workspaces on Wakelet, so let's dive in. Let's imagine I'm the head of a department at a school, and my district has the Wakelet education plan. In my account, I have a number of collections that I'm working on that are purely for myself. I also have a bunch of collections that I'm collaborating on with other teachers in my school. And I have classrooms that I manage that are filled with students. Now, prior to these updates, there wasn't much distinction between these three things. I may have had collaborative collections with teachers, my own travel plans, and my student resources, all in the same area. And this can get confusing and lead to mix-ups. With the new updates, I can now create a workspace for my personal content and new workspaces for my school. This means I can switch between my important projects at work and my personal collections with a simple click of a button. In my school workspace, I can create a group for my biology class students and a group where I'm collaborating with other teachers in my department. And everything is beautifully laid out, maximizing organization and allowing me to switch between areas that I like. Now, I just got the word that one of the teachers in the biology department has suddenly developed a passion for numbers and has moved to the maths department. In the past, I'd have to contact the IT department, go back to the rostering software that the district uses, and remove the teacher from there. Now I can manage members of the group myself and remove the teacher instantly. Whilst I'm here, I can also add the teachers who's replacing them. It's flexible, easy, and reduces admin to a matter of seconds, allowing me to add and remove members in real time. Whilst I was doing all of that, I just had a brilliant idea. I have a group of students and teachers in my year who are really eager to work on a school sustainability project. These students are across 2 different grade levels and 4 different classes. Before the update, trying to make this collaborative project happen would have been difficult. But now I simply create a group for the project, add the students and teachers who are interested, and I've created an environment where we can all work together. I can edit permissions whenever I want to, add or remove students, and even invite teachers from different departments. Safe and secure collaboration on any project of any size with as few or as many students or teachers as I want. That's the kind of flexible collaboration that you've all been waiting for. Now, I work in a small district and I wear a number of different hats. As well as being a biology teacher, I'm also a tech coach. I've been asked to help the CTE director to set up a group where we can run CTE programs for selected students across the school. In this group, the students will record evidence of their skills and knowledge that they've learned every day. I'll invite the relevant teachers to this group too, so they can provide feedback and guidance whilst monitoring the kinds of things the students are adding. Each one of these students are able to submit their collections for assessment at the end of the year as a visual portfolio. And once they graduate, this portfolio goes with them, helping support college and job applications. That is future readiness. Lastly, I want a better idea of how students in each project are using Wakelet, how often they are adding content, how many collections they made, how long do they spend on Wakelet, how often do they log in. These are the questions you all want the answers to, as they give a much better idea of how engaged the students are. And all this information and more is now at my fingertips. As an admin in my school workspace, I can easily access and measure usage patterns, spot trends, and discover the analytics that matter. So the next time I'm meeting with my team, I can share exactly how much impact Wakelet is making. The improved workspaces on Wakelet really takes collaboration to the next level. It allows you as an educator to create interactive and engaging areas where students and teachers can work together safely, securely, and with all the amazing features Wakelet offers. The enhancements are designed to make organising your people on Wakelet just as easy and simple as organising your content. It allows you as an educator to create learning environments independently, having the freedom to build workspaces for extracurricular clubs, study groups, teams of staff, and any other place where collaboration is needed. By providing the flexibility to manage groups in more ways than ever, we're saving you valuable time, helping you focus on the things that matter. So many diverse and important pieces of content are curated on Wakelet, and teachers save an average of an hour a day by organising their content on the platform. And millions of you use it to collaborate with your students, your teams, and your learning communities. These new updates to workspaces bring everything full circle. Curation, organisation, collaboration are all fused together in an elegant and powerful way, helping you create memorable learning experiences and hit those key learning outcomes for students. For now, we really can't wait to hear the impact that workspaces will make, and we thank you all for the influence you've had on one of the most important parts of the Wakelet experience. See you soon.
Each year that passes, the educator community finds new ways to make meaningful connections with their students and the people around them. As technology, culture, and politics shift in pretty much any direction at any given time, educators have remained steadfast in their mission to engage their students and make a real impact on their futures. The educator community really is special, not just because of your talent and your work ethic, but because of your willingness to step up and help the people around you. Every day, you go out of your way to share advice, support your fellow teachers, and contribute to the culture of education in electrifying new ways. At Wakelet, one of our main aims is to reflect the thoughts, feelings, and ideas of this community at any given point in time. Your challenges are our challenges, and we'll always be there to raise awareness, celebrate your wins, and help the people outside of education see what we see. We want to be there to support you, acknowledge the incredible work that you do, and say thank you on behalf of a world that simply doesn't say it enough. There have been some extraordinary stories and successes that have come out of the Wakelet community this year. So without further ado, let's hear from the Wakelet team as we celebrate the spirit of this wonderful community.
The community is so important because it gives educators a safe space to share their ideas, to inspire one another. They're able to connect with people they may not be able to connect with if it's just in the day-to-day. We're able to learn from each other, you can grow, and you help others grow and expand your own world and your own knowledge and understanding of what others are going through. So it makes you a better version of yourself.
As time goes on and the community keeps on growing and more tools and platforms are out there, it is very important that ourselves and our partners in these products maintain a community effort, because at the end of the day, we're creating tools and platforms for educators to use. And if you're not listening to them, listening to their feedback, celebrating their wins, sharing their successes, then you just have a tool with no real connections to the people that you're creating it for.
For this team, everyone's feedback in the Wakelet community means so much to us. The support and encouragement that we receive of every single person who uses Wakelet day to day does not go unnoticed.
The feedback and encouragement that we get from the community really inspires us to want to do better, not only for each other, but for the community as a whole. We want to make a tool that they can use with their students, with their own communities, and really get the most out of it. So when we have that feedback, it really encourages us, it motivates us. Being able to connect, whether it's on a webinar, whether it's on social, whether it's in person at a conference, all those interactions provide us with everything we need to really make an impact.
When the community first started, it was literally 40 people in a feedback group replying on a Google form. Essentially, we had so much feedback from many users across different sectors, and at the time we couldn't really handle all the feedback. It was coming through email, Twitter, different inboxes, and we didn't really know how to compile it all together. So one day we sat down and we said, okay, let's start a feedback group. Let's get all of these opinions and the feedback about the tool and the platform that we're building. I remember the first one was, what integration would you like to see next on Wakelet? And there's a few options. And even though people were from different sectors and different ages and from all different countries, around 80% of people replied with the exact same feature that they wanted. And we thought that was the end of it. We built the feature, but no, we sent it back to them. And because they were a part of the process of choosing the feature, it meant that they wanted to shout about it. They felt a part of it, but they also found issues with it, bugs. It didn't really work how they wanted it to. So that helped us with a small team of testers and developers. It helped us change the feature, improve the feature, and then have a platform that people wanted to use, but also have a platform that people wanted to improve as well. They were part of the team, and they still are a part of the team. And it means that it's not just ourselves coming up with the ideas. We are not educators at the end of the day. We don't use it every single day with our students, with our friends, with our family, but millions of people do. And to get the feedback from all of those people in one is a lot better than us sitting around a table deciding what to do with the product. So it really made a difference to how we work as a team and grow as a company.
Fast forward on 5 years and we're here now. We've got over 20,000 amazing people who are in the Wakelet community from over 170 different countries. And this gives an amazing range and diversity of people that we can get feedback from, and that is really important for the team.
We now have over 2,000 ambassadors from all across the world, But of course, we can't forget about that amazing group that started this whole thing.
Yeah, we can. And I remember thinking when we started the community program, I don't think we had the idea of ambassadors, but when you have a group of thousands of educators in a community sharing that feedback, and then you have a few of them who are really standing out from the rest by going to events, recording special videos about the product. Randall Sampson, our OG ambassador, still an ambassador today, was at an event in Palm Springs, California, meeting up with other community members, and he was out there selfie videoing and basically saying, you've got to get that Wakelet Wave going. And from Randall, we had more and more people come out of the community who wanted to be ambassadors. We started out with 15. It was people like Brandy Reams, Mariah Rackley, Kathy Kersnowski, Carly Mora, Christina Holzweiss, who came together as a group of ambassadors to shine, I suppose, and lead the community. And that is why we're in this place today.
And as we said earlier, one of the things that makes Wakelet so special is how global the community is. It's that diversity of voices that's critical in helping us understand the needs of educators and the shared experiences between teachers across the world. We'll always try to provide platforms for these diverse voices through webinars, sessions, and major events like the upcoming Community Week.
And of course, a big part of our international community are the partnerships that we have. They share our goals, they help us amplify educator voices, and together we build meaningful connections.
And those connections really mean a lot to us, because it means we can focus not only on our own platform community, but the educator community as a whole. And together with our partners, it really means we can focus on what really matters, the educators on the ground, the educator community, rather than just platform-specific communities.
So for me, I think the community in general is very important because it gives people the opportunity to meet like-minded people who they might have never met before, come up to you, talk to you about education as a whole. You've got people who work in different job roles, different countries, different technologies, who all come together at events such as ISTE, such as the smaller events, such as Community Week, and then you can create new friendships from them.
It is more than just a platform, it is a global family. And that is what you've created, a family, a community where people want to be heard and want to listen and want to share and want to be a part of something much bigger than themselves. And not everyone has that support network in their school, their district, their environment. So I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone that is in the community for making it such a special place.
And I just want to echo that thank you on behalf of the entire Wakelet team. We cannot thank you enough for all of the wonderful things that you do to support each other and to take time out of your day to be a part of this community, be present on webinars, be a part of the activities, create some resources, share a collection, create a template for another educator, and it makes this community such a special thing to be a part of.
I'm thrilled to speak to you today as the partnership lead at Wakelet. Partnerships at Wakelet have been instrumental in driving our company's growth through various stages of its life cycle. Currently, our focus is on enhancing the platform to deliver added value to our community through incredible integrations with partners like Canva, Microsoft, Google, and more. We are constantly exploring new ways to empower you to maximize the platform's potential. Over the past year and a half, our partnership function has evolved significantly, enabling us to engage with our partner community in unique and impactful ways. We've had the privilege of collaborating with our fantastic partner community to host numerous events worldwide, together with AWS, Microsoft, Canva, ClassLink, Smart Technologies, Flip, and many others. We've organized amazing community activation events and have truly made a difference. A heartfelt thank you to our exceptional partner community for coming together and helping us create these special moments. Your support and collaboration are deeply appreciated. As Wakelet navigates through changes in the EdTech landscape and adapts to the evolving needs of educators, our partnership function is evolving alongside us. The future is bright, and we're excited to share what lies ahead for our partnerships and our amazing community of partners. We're thrilled to announce the upcoming launch of the Wakelet Partner Program. This program will be the first of its kind designed to provide even more benefits to our valued partners. We want to thank you for your continued support as we build a partnership ecosystem that makes a real impact on the educator community and beyond. When it comes to innovating and creating solutions, we truly are better together.
When you have a group of Wakelet experts, what's the best that could happen? Last year, we implemented a brand new program, the Wakelet Certified Trainer Program. This was a project we wanted to create to empower the educators selected, who would then guide and inspire their students, teams, and educators closest to them. In the last year, they've shared feedback on their platform experience, attended roundtables with key members of our team, passed on knowledge to other community members and each other, inspired collection creation tips, and exchanged ideas on how best to use Wakelet for learning. Sending trainers to conferences and having them lead and share their authentic experiences has given them a unique ability to network and meet professionals they might have missed. Giving the mic to trainers to lead webinars and panels with their collections and applications of Wakelet has given them increased confidence with public speaking and presenting in multiple scenarios. The ability for trainers to create and share content within their personal learning communities and our team has been priceless. You can see from the Meet the Trainers collection and map points that our trainers are from all across the US and have a wide range of experience and expertise. They are available to train in districts, conferences, and are happy to answer any questions you have about using Wakelet as a platform solution for educators and students who are aiming to meet learning standards and hoping to elevate learning in their classrooms. Our trainer program is small by design, as this allows for more one-on-one coaching and collaboration time, and creates a culture that ensures trainers truly feel valued and supported. So, what are we looking for in a Wakelet certified trainer? We are looking for someone who is open to learning, leading, receiving, and giving feedback, who's ready to take a risk and learn a new skill, who's willing to connect and communicate in new ways, and seeks challenges with creativity, design, technology, and pedagogy. Someone who encourages and builds others up and fosters professionalism among themselves and others, who also has the ability to travel within their local US region. Spots are limited, so if you would like to apply, please fill out the form with your updated Wakelet profile, most recent certified educator certificate, and some information about yourself. We will contact those who have been accepted into the program this fall.
The thing that makes the Wakelet community so special is just how global it really is. Every year we hear stories from our community, some of who are facing the most challenging conditions imaginable. When war breaks out or natural disasters strike, we hear the incredible stories of hope and resilience as community members try and make sense of it all. But the one thing that's consistent about educators is that when facing hardship, they always find a way to help their students feel normal. They'll always go above and beyond to ensure the children in their community still get a chance to learn and grow. Whether it's earthquakes in Croatia, flooding in Libya, the ongoing war in Ukraine, and the famine in parts of Africa. As a global community, we're always in touch with the educators on the ground who are trying to make a difference. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza has turned the region into what UNICEF describes as the most dangerous place in the world to be a child. According to the UN, over 13,000 children have been killed in the past 6 months. Among the 1.9 million displaced individuals, more than 800,000 are children who have lost their homes, parents, and extended family members. Over 80% of the schools in Gaza have been damaged or destroyed. Despite these unimaginable conditions, the resilience of educators shines brightly. One notable example is Asma, a teacher from Gaza and a 4-year Wakelet ambassador, as well as a Google, Microsoft, and Apple certified educator, who continues to find ways to keep students learning despite the harshest of circumstances.
Hello, this is Asma Mustafa. I'm an English language teacher in Gaza since 2008 till now. I was displaced 3 times during this war on Gaza. My last displacement was to attend to the southwest of Rafah, to the mutual borders with Egypt, and it was more than 5 months ago. I decided to create my own educational community in the 10th neighborhood, if I can say. Here, I meet more than 200 children every day.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I always look at the children around me and say to myself, those treasures shouldn't stop learning. That's why I gathered them the first day, and then we agreed to make this every day at 4 p.m. I started using my MP3 player Bluetooth device. I was singing, and it was singing. My students came jumping, and they ran to me as if they are running to the sky. I always want them to be happy, and I continue learning. I want them to continue learning, and I continue teaching them despite the catastrophic, miserable situation they are living. I tell them a story every day, and then we discuss the values and morals of the story. I read their eyes. I read their thoughts. I never imagined that they will, teach me hope when I look into their eyes. I always listen to their stories and jokes, hiding my tears and showing that I am enjoying this because I have to be strong in front of my students, those little kids who are looking for life. And I'm doing my best to support them to stand up again and fill their hearts with hope and happiness as possible as I can. We learn together on the sounds. I want them to forget the sounds of bombs around us, the sounds of rockets, the sounds of shouting by murders, by injuries. Disasters are everywhere. I wanted also to take them from this difficult, miserable time to feel there is hope. And yes, there is hope. We sometimes draw, we sometimes color, and we paint, we sing, we tell stories. I read to them, and sometimes I open a story on a laptop, and sometimes we open a song on the MP3 player, and I give them the chance to dance. My students here in the 10s taught me to struggle with them and for them and their future. That's why I will never lose hope, and I will teach them as long as I am alive. They are sending you, all of you, their best wishes, and a special thanks go to Wakelet platform for giving their teachers and them this great opportunity to speak to you about our new school in the deserts and on the sounds. Those children have the right to learn, to play, to read, to write, to live normal life, to feel quiet, to feel free, to feel freedom, and to go back to their houses in Gaza City and in the north of Gaza. Thank you one more time for giving us this opportunity to speak to you and to show you through this video how our life changed.
If there's one thing that we can all agree on, it's that the landscape of education is changing in some very significant ways. If you're an educator, you know that change is always around the corner and you're prepared. But it seems like the usual incremental change that we're used to has been replaced by some major transformations in the last few years. Now, some of this has to do with the pandemic in 2020, and some of it has come from the huge impact that recent technologies have made inside the classroom. But a lot of it has come from the way that things have changed beyond the classroom, after your students graduate. Developments in AI, the rise of remote working, and the growing skills gap in the job market are just a few of the things that have been putting pressure on education systems to change the things that they focus on. At Wakelet, we believe that the future of education is in very good hands. As a community, you make a point of staying up to date with the latest technology whilst also figuring out how best to apply it. We've seen this across the board. Whenever there's something new out there to try, you always find a way to bring it into your teaching, maximize its potential, and use it to enhance learning outcomes in really meaningful ways. We want to take this even further, beyond the technology, beyond the classroom even, and help support you, your students, and your learning communities in preparing for the changes that are happening right now. So as we head into a new and exciting age of education, let's discover how Wakelet is helping you and your learners become future ready. As time goes on, the one thing that stays the same is that things are always going to change, right? It's one of the most consistent things of life. So politics change, technology changes, it becomes even more sophisticated, culture changes and shifts as well. And we shouldn't think that education is an exception to that. Education itself has always changed, right? But we at Wakelet, we've been working within education for quite some time now, and we've noticed some of the most prevalent changes happen in the last few years. Many of these changes happened because of the pandemic. Education systems around the world were really forced to make dramatic changes to the way that they not only teach but also assess. And some of these changes have also happened because of the rise of things like artificial intelligence, right? And what that means, what kind of consequences that has to teaching and learning around the world. I mean, when you think about it, what kind of tests exist right now? What kind of exam can you sit a student down and ask them to take that is going to be a really accurate measure of things like the ability to collaborate with one another, the ability to work well as a team, the ability to express themselves creatively, to articulate their ideas? There aren't tests out there that are fit for purpose in measuring those things, whereas there are tools that can do that. Taking a look at this critically has forced a lot of change. When we look at the US right now, for example, over 80% of all colleges in the US no longer require applicants to submit SAT scores in order to get a place in the university. Now, the implications of this are huge because it means that schools, primary schools, high schools, everything up until higher education really need to change the way that they do things. Because if colleges are no longer requiring SAT scores, but the entire curriculum and all the teaching is around SAT scores, then what's the point in setting these exams and putting such a high degree of pressure on students to perform really, really well in them when they're not even going to be considered when the student does want to take that next step into higher education? You know, teachers already do a really good job of identifying areas in which their students need help, guiding them, supporting them, but also highlighting those skills, the things that do make them unique, that do make them different. And what we're finding now is that the culture of education is shifting so much where it's those skills that are really important. It's those skills that colleges and employers are going to be looking at, more so than those exam results. This is really exciting, not only for educators and students, but also technology companies like Wakelet too, because we can really help students express themselves and showcase those things that make them unique, that make them important, showcase the best moments of their learning journeys in a way that's visual, in a way that tells a story, and a way that makes sense and is contextual to the thing that they're applying for. And then you look at employers and you look at what they're demanding right now. There's a huge skills gap that is global. It doesn't matter what country you're in. Employers are saying that we need these skills. And you look at the kinds of skills that employers are requiring, that they're trying to look for evidence of, and you realize that they aren't baked into curriculums, that when students leave school, they don't have evidence of these skills. They have a sheet of paper with their grades for each subject, and that's where it ends. And employers nowadays are looking for much more. They're looking for evidence of skills. So this is an incredible time right now for educators around the world because finally they get an opportunity to really build on those skills that students already have talents for. That student who might really struggle with exams no longer has to worry that their entire school journey and their entire learning process is going to be judged by 1 hour on one day. They can instead turn to all of those amazing extracurricular things that they've done throughout school, right? They may have been captain of a sports team. They may have won loads of awards for student journalism and writing and reading and debates. All of those things now finally mean something, and they have meant something for a while. It's just that we've never been able to empower our students enough to actually showcase them to the people who matter. So what does this mean for us at Wakelet? Well, when we look at this, we see an amazing opportunity because we believe that students are so much more than their test scores. What we want to do now, and what we've been doing for the last couple of years, is really providing tools that empower students to tell their stories in ways that exams can't. To make them feel confident in knowing that that exam, that transcript at the end of school is not the only thing that they're going to be judged on, that all those other things that they've been doing also matter. And because of that, our focus right now at Wakelet really is on future readiness. What does that mean? It means being able to provide the tools, the software, the features that help districts and schools and teachers really empower their students to keep a record of those things that make their school journey so special, to capture those things that make them unique, that make them appealing to colleges and employers, and then give them that opportunity to share that along with their transcripts and their grades. And all of this is to support our vision, ensuring that every learner from every background has an equal opportunity to demonstrate the skills that they've learned to the people who matter.
The future of education is constantly changing and evolving. The jobs of tomorrow require a completely new set of skills, ones that aren't easily accessible by today's tests. We also know that our students are more than just a test score. With that in mind, Wakelet is proud to announce the launch of our Future Ready initiative. The Wakelet Future Ready initiative aims to achieve 3 transformative goals. 1, that every student leaves with a dynamic digital portfolio that celebrates their academic success. 2, teachers become empowered to create dynamic learning experiences that transform the classroom of tomorrow. And 3, schools, districts, teachers, and students all feel better prepared to compete in tomorrow's digital market. Throughout the Future Ready initiative, the Wakelet team is here to provide support for you, your district, and your students. To learn more, head on over to features.wakelet.com/futureready and take the first steps today.
Future readiness is so important to us, and we are doing some really exciting things on both the product and community fronts to help prepare your students for life beyond the classroom. Earlier this year, we welcomed digital portfolio platform Bulb to the Wakelet family. This is the first acquisition Wakelet has made and is a real milestone for the company. Bulb is an incredible platform that helps you and your students create professional portfolios and resumes and showcase the important achievements in your professional and academic journeys. As the Wakelet Wave travels through schools, colleges and universities worldwide, we want you to have even more choice in the tools you use to reach your goals. We believe that by bringing Bulb into the Wakelet family, we can provide so much more added value, helping you achieve results and make as much impact as possible. The future is more exciting than ever, and we can't wait to share the magic of the Bulb platform with you all in the coming months.
Wakelet empowers students in lots of ways, and we really want students to become leaders of tomorrow. And the way that we do that at Wakelet is through a few different things. Obviously by curating on the platform themselves and learning all those digital skills, but also our Student Ambassador Programme and our Student Certified course. For the last few years, we've been hosting another initiative which is really great. It's called the Children's Parliament. It has been based in the UK for children aged 7 to 11, and we bring them all together in a really big online event which allows them to debate all of the issues that mean something to them. So, for example, some of the issues that they have debated include the environment, climate change, online safety, bullying even, lots of different topics. And even last year in November, we hosted an even bigger event. So previously, I think we'd had about 1,000 different children taking part across the UK. And for the first time in November, we took it global, which was so exciting. We had students from all over the world joining in, and that was just before the COP28 summit. So we had a really good discussion around the climate and sustainability. So this year, the other exciting thing that happened is that the Children's Parliament elected their new Children's Prime Minister. So that was of course hosted on Wakelet. Each of the candidates for the Children's Prime Minister recorded a video using our video feature, uploaded it to a collection, and all of the children that took part as MPs could vote for the person they wanted to be their Prime Minister. And huge congratulations, Clark Dearson is the new Children's Prime Minister. He's starting his journey now, and of course he will be documenting the whole thing on Wakelet in a portfolio, so look out for that as well. So the Children's Parliament as a whole is just such a great initiative. It's enabled all those students, and they're quite young students, aged 7 to 11, to really explore what they feel, share their voice, share their thoughts, also meet children at a similar sort of age in different countries across the world and be able to kind of talk about the issues that really matter to them. It's a really great example of the Wakelet platform being used to empower students, help them share their thoughts and their voice, and collaborate with others across the world. As the world moves forward, we will continue with our commitment to empower students to share their aspirations, express themselves, and tell their stories.
What do we remember from our time at school? Those potent memories of childhood where the flame of curiosity burned bright, when every new moment was a chance to learn and grow, when we surprised ourselves with just how much we could achieve in a single summer's day. Our creativity blossomed beyond the classroom and helped to see the world differently. Our chests swelled with pride when we accomplished something new, when we pushed ourselves and realized we were getting better at something. We sharpened our interests and harvested our passions in after-school clubs. Our classmates became friends. We learned to work with them to solve problems. We found strength in our circles. But we never really understood why everything we did, everything we learned, and everything we achieved came down to that one exam that was looming on the horizon. An exam could never tell the full story. We learned lessons that couldn't be found in any textbook. We built skills that we'd never get to showcase. We became leaders, thinkers, artists, and experts. We developed abilities that were never tested and achieved things that no exam was designed to measure. Our characters and personalities weren't assigned a grade. Life was never a multiple choice question. It wasn't an essay or a quiz. It was a journey of discovery with powerful moments that made us the people we are today. The only thing that was missing was a place to capture those moments and save them for when it really mattered. The report cards, the tests, they became lost in the fog of time. But the stories we crafted, those moments of growth, the times we made ourselves proud, those will stay with us forever. In the back of all our minds, we all knew that we were so much more than a test score. And so are they.
Travellers, we've reached the end of Wakelet Live and the beginning of Wakelet Community Week 2024. We want to take this moment to thank you, all of you, for being the very people that inspire us to do what we do year after year. This Community Week will be about the future of education. We've lined up the best speakers in the world to share their ideas and predictions and answer your questions about what the classrooms of tomorrow will really look like. We know that as educators, the last few years have been challenging in ways that we could never imagine. But for the next 5 days, we welcome you to join us as we take flight and explore a better future for you and your students. Remember, all the technology in the world is useless without the talent, skill, and creativity that you as educators put behind it. And as we embark upon this journey into the future, we want you to know that we will always be there by your side, supporting your efforts and amplifying your successes. Now, I'm receiving word that the Future Ready rocket is fueled up, all systems have been checked, and we are ready to take to the skies. The Wakelet crew are on standby, so it's time to push the button and launch all of you into Wakelet Community Week 2024. Travelers, it's time for liftoff.
There, that faint gleam of light. The educators of the world conquering the depths of space and all the mysteries of time, capturing those moments of inspiration as they soar across the universe. What stories will they bring back on their return? What technology will they discover on their travels? One voyage, one week, one united community. Let the journey begin.